There's been a lot of news lately about the Canadian truckers. It's a freedom convoy, and how they're working to protect your freedom. Now they're fighting for your freedom, and they're all members of the working class, and they're there to end the vaccine, the brutal tyranny of the vaccine mandates. Now, of course, that's all BS, and not them going against vaccine mandates, of course. They're definitely anti-vax and anti-vax mandate, but there's some other misconceptions about them that we are finding out. So now, for one of the claims is that, this is a huge amount of truckers. 50,000 truckers are on the road right now, and they're there to fight for your freedom. Well, actually, no. It's actually a really small amount of truckers, a small minority, as well as a smattering of far-right activists and other groups. In fact, the Canadian Trucking Alliance, the primary advocacy group for Canadian truckers, actually is against the protests and notes that 85% of Canadian truckers who regularly cross the border are fully vaccinated. So this is, again, very small group of people, of truckers. They do not represent the majority. So now, 50,000 truckers, again, nowhere near that. Canadian journalists actually put the number of trucks in the hundreds in late January. In fact, Ottawa Police Chief Peter Sloanley told reporters on January 31st that it was actually impossible to provide exact crowd size figures, but he had heard the numbers as high as 18,000 of total demonstrators. Now that's important because demonstrator does not mean trucker. So now they could be truckers. There could be a pretty large amount, 18,000. That's quite a few people, right? But it's not 50,000. Now, in order to inflate the numbers, social media is taken to putting out false images. That's actually not related to the protests, but claimed that they were. Let me give you some examples. There's a video that had been shared on various social media platforms that was captioned a claim that showed South Carolina truckers heading to Ottawa to join the convoy. Turns out, fact-checking, according to USA Today, it actually showed an August 2021 truck parade in support of the Special Olympics. All right, well, there you go. A video of honking Brazilian truckers that circulated on Facebook was from May 2021, and it's actually a demonstration in support of Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro, not a demonstration of solidarity with Canadian truckers. So now, to be fair, I'm pretty sure the people who supported Jair Bolsonaro would probably support the Ottawa truckers. Bolsonaro, of course, being anti-vaxxer. All right, fair enough. They can have that one. But another photo of a massive protest crowd shared in Twitter posts in both English and Spanish, as if it were from Ottawa this year, actually depicted a 1991 demonstration in Moscow against the communist government of the Soviet Union. Oops. Well, that's sad. Another photo, which has been described in Facebook posts as a group of Amish people driving to support the convoy, is a shot of an old order of Mennonites going to church, according to PolitiFact. There are also claims that 50% of the Ottawa police force quitting in protest due to the mandates and showing solidarity with the truckers. That's also not true. In fact, Ottawa police spokesperson Constable Amy Gagnon said on Monday that these claims were entirely false. There have been no resignations in relation to the demonstration, and then all of their available officers are present and working. The Canadian Armed Forces also has refuted any reports of vowing allegiance in relation to the protests. They said, this is a military spokesperson saying, quote, "In short, no, we have not made any such comment." Okay. And then finally, you have been seeing probably false reports that the government had instructed hotels to not rent rooms to the protesters. This is Ottawa hotels. So now CNN called the hotels and found out that, no, that's not true. The employees who took CNN's calls at the downtown Marriott and 5 other Ottawa hotels on Monday said their establishments had not been given any anti-protester instruction by any government. Patrick Champagne, press secretary to Ottawa Mayor Jim Watson, told CNN that the claim is, quote unquote, categorically false. Alexander Cohen, a spokesperson for Canadian Public Safety Minister Marco Medicino, called the claim ludicrous and said that no one from the federal government has done that. Steve Bell, president of the Ottawa Gatineau Hotel Association, said that, quote, to my knowledge, there is no truth to this rumor. As for the Marriott in particular, there were rooms still available. Now, as to the claims that it's a working class movement, that it's, all people from all sides, right? Well, no, that's not exactly true either. According to Jacob Bowder, Bowder was part of a convoy, and by the way, that's one of the founders of the movement, right? Now, he is actually part of a convoy a couple of years ago called United We Roll. So now, United We Roll actually was connected to the far right and white nationalist hate groups. United We Roll toured the country in opposition to to Canada's federal carbon tax and the UN Migration Pact. United We Roll also planned an anti-union protest where convoy members threatened to dismantle the picket line and run over striking workers. Yes, real working class. Yes. Now, they also criticized rail workers for demanding better pay, benefits, and working conditions. But very, very working class. So they're on the side of the workers, everybody. They're on the side of protecting the workers, unless they're trying to strike for fair wages. No, come on. There's also been no discussion within Convoy's ranks, as far as I know, of investment in any public health care, employer accountability, sick days, rent control, financial support for any workers that have lost their jobs. All they say is no vaccines. And not only that, but you've also had Confederate and Nazi flags that were seen at some of these protests. So, yeah, there's one. There's a fuck Trudeau sign, which, by the way, fuck Trudeau. I don't even like him either, but I would, rather have him than a Nazi. I know, terrible choices, right? And then, of course, you have Confederate flags. What are Confederate flags doing in Canada? That's super weird. That's super weird. And of course, I know conspiracy theorists are going to claim that, oh no, it's one of those things where it was staged. It was staged. You can't prove it's not staged. You can't prove it's not staged. All right. Well, there you go. Look, I just think that if they were really wanting to look out for the working class, then they'd actually address the issues facing truckers. This is a culture war protest. That's what this is. The vaccine stuff has become a culture war issue. If you were enmeshed in this, you're not fighting for freedom. You're fighting the conservative culture war. Shouldn't the government's job be to ensure the safety of workers? I know, they generally don't. In this case, it's bad for business to allow COVID to continue spreading around the workplace and have people have to take time off to, go get tested and to go, into quarantine. And look, by the way, the government has also bungled COVID quite a bit when it comes to opening up things too soon. And so it is this unfortunate mindset where everybody's like, get back to business. Now, guess what? That's also the aim of the truckers, get back to business, and the vaccine mandates and all the stuff related to COVID. We're sick of it. We're gonna end that. And you know what that message also, who mirrors that? Putting out the same message? Right-wing media. And now corporate media. Corporate media is also putting out the same message. We're tired of the pandemic. We're so over it. No, we're not over it. It's not done with us. It's not done with us. And so we're still having people that are dying, thousands of people every day. And we're still having, again, massive COVID infections. And yes, we still have a lot of unvaccinated Americans. And so, and by the way, still unvaccinated Canadians as well. Just less so. in Canada than we have them here. But unfortunately, that's what we have. It has become a culture war issue, and this is nothing more than the right continuing their culture wars over vaccines at the detriment, not to the benefit of workers. Understand who they really represent.